All right, due to questionable weather conditions today, based off what my mom and I were seeing today, there was no Sandy Ridge walk off yet again. So we're gonna have to try it again next year or sometime in the distant future once we get a decent day after the regular finale where it's like 2023 again, except we're not sick this time and there's no heavy winds or overcast skies looking like it's gonna rain. But moving on, these last two Spurs games were absolutely ridiculous, both against the Warriors. So you would think that the first game, if you build a 16-point lead in the first half, that you would run away with this thing and make it a piece of cake. No, you let the third quarter blues, which is the first true appearance of the season of old habits from the previous six seasons or during the days of the big three, get to you. Right here, you think we would figure it out, right? Nope. By this time of the game, it all came apart, and we were never the same after that, considering we had an exciting ending, but still, this was a winnable game, and you just let it get away. Absolutely unacceptable. But, if you haven't seen nothing yet, the worst is yet to come. Roll it.
2 days later.
You would have think this team would have learned something from that embarrassing loss, right? I wouldn't say embarrassing. That's a little overboard. It's a poor choice of words. You would think that they would learn from that inexcusable loss where they could have won the game and, looked at back at what they messed up so that way they could learn for this next one 2 days later. Well, it did look like it for the most part, and I get the officiating on both sides was lopsided, but still, the Spurs could have won this game too, considering this, like the version one with the 16-point lead, they had a 10-point lead in the closing stages, looked like they were going to put this shit away, but then they let the Warriors back in, and Curry continued to go ham. I mean, still, even when they got back in the game, we had chances, still, close this one out properly and football good old Spurs fashion and, win the game. But, Fox missed three shots down the stretch. I mean, Wembanyama had that clutch block on Curry on the second to last defensive possession we were on. But then Fox missed a shot to, put it away for us and clinch it. And then we committed it. Well, I don't know if we say committed an unnecessary foul. Though, like I said, the officiating was lopsided. The refs looked like they were bailing Curry, and the Warriors had a bad shots, which caused him to, make those two game-winning free throws. Hell, even with the unsuccessful challenge that we luckily were smart enough to save for late in the game, in which Kerr wasted his, but it still worked out in his favor because his team still won the game and beat us. I mean, we still had one spare timeout left, drop a play, and you would have thought the ball was going to our best player, right? Wembanyama. But I guess Fox is acceptable in 75% of the time. He does make those, shots, and when in a situation like that. But this was one of those that part of that rare 25 where he didn't. I mean, that can be understandable considering, he, Sohan, and the people who just got back from injury to start after they sat out to start the season because of them being hurt have not fully got back into their usual rhythm yet. So you got to give them time. Everybody, well, not me, obviously, because, I'm not one of those fairweather bandwagon fans that want to run players out of the team just because they're not their usual selves. I mean, there's people turning on Swipa saying, they want him gone, considering, he missed the last shot, which he usually makes. Well, people, chill the fuck out. I mean, it's still early in the season. He's still a little rusty. He's not really got back in a full swing yet, and not really got back fully back in his usual rhythm, like fully up to speed to his usual self. So everybody relax. We're going to be fine. I mean, I get it. This was two inexcusable losses, which, the officiating could have been better considering it was lopsided on both ends, considering the Warriors got more calls in their favor more than we did. And one dunk by Wemby should have fucking counted, which was bull fucking shit. But hey, what do I know? I think if they would have counted that and gave us an and one, then we probably would have won that. We'd probably win that game by a comfortable margin, a semi-comfortable margin. And, not having our rookie sensation, Dylan Harper, kind of hurts us too. So hopefully he'll be back as soon as possible. But I'd rather us get the losses out of the way now. When we got ass-packed by the Suns and Phoenix when I was there, after we left the check out of part 500 midway through, and me and my dad rage quit at halftime with my phone dead, and his phone trying not to die, and the America West Arena being cold. I mean, I'd rather that happen, that us lose like that then than on December 5th against 2016 Mickey Mouse champions, aka the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they've led by fake Kyle Petty. I'd rather us lose that way to Phoenix while I'm there than on December 5th while I see the Cavs here in Ohio. So therefore, get all these, these, unnecessary mistakes and, inexcusable losses out of the way now before we get truly deep into the season. So therefore, tomorrow is an early game against the Kings in San Antonio in the SBC Center. That lopsided team in Sacramento that is very discombobulated, which is really, a mess down there right now. And I think this will be Swipa's revenge game, considering that I think he'll do great against his former team. And this will hopefully be his game of redemption with the fairweathers and bandwagons that want him off the team, considering, he's not back to his usual full self yet. So give him time. Like, chill the fuck out. We're going to be fine. And so, therefore, yeah, I mean, sure, Wembanyama could have taken the last shot, but who fucking knows at this point? I mean, it's still early in the season. We're still every team that has a winning record that is like in playoff contention is still working out the kinks and figuring out the early season jitters before they get into full song and get fully into rhythm and and into the usual selves that we all know and love. So whether it's us or any other team that has a winning record that is in playoff contention and not with that contention with stupid ass play, and so therefore I'll see you guys tomorrow for it's going to be an early the game's is an early start, so we'll have all the time in the world to make a Spurs game review for the Sacramento game. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good night. See you all for tomorrow's video when we go over the Sacramento game. And I apologize for no Sandy Ridge walk-off. I mean, I was looking forward to it, but my mom and I thought the weather was questionable, considering not just how windy, how heavy how serious the windy conditions could have been, and how how overcast it looked, considering she thought it was going to rain. But I wish I would have tried it out for myself, but I wasn't sure. And plus, I was like, half asleep, trying to figure out if I should fully wake up to get, chance it and give it a whirl, or just, play it safe and stay in the trailer, and even if there was no wind gusts or overcast guys, even if it was sunny, I don't know if very many people were out. I know one of the Jarrett kids were out when I looked out the window earlier this afternoon, but that's just one person being out doesn't define the activity of the whole rest of the neighborhood. So that's like 2023 when we were sick and it was nice. It was overcast, but not overcast like it's about to rain, and there was no heavy winds, but since we were in here with the mild cold, we'll never know if that 2023 was action-packed or not. And today, we'll never know if that was action-packed or not. So, therefore, we're 0 for 2 on potential walk-off Sandy Ridge finales. But I guess there'll be other years before our time here is eventually over, because one day that's going to happen. I mean, that's why we got to cherish every moment here in the happiest place in Northeast Ohio while we have it, because one day it's going to be time to go. But it's something like what Romani Malco said with A Million Little Things, and even DJ Nash himself. One day, A Million Little Things is going to be gone. Is going to be gone off the TV. But when they said this, it was still on the TV in the middle of its heyday, and they said, well, guess what? At this time, not yet, but one day eventually will be. And guess what? Come 2023, it happened. Well, same thing with our time in Sandy Ridge. Just like how we didn't want to live on Sandhurst because we felt that we were taking that house from my grandparents. But guess what? Despite all the bullshit and drama that happened off camera before before we started our YouTube careers that happened, we ended up having sort of a good time, but we've had a better time here. We've had a hell of a better time here. And then considering how we didn't want to leave Sandhurst and move to Ridgeville, and guess what? We've had a better time here in Sandy Ridge and Ridgeville than we did on Sandhurst and Brook Park. So eventually, I'm starting to get a little older and realize, life phases in one particular house doesn't last forever. Sure, I get upset when my mom talks about potentially leaving to go elsewhere to live. Yeah, that's understandable. But then when having time by myself, on camera with you guys or off camera by myself, I tend to think about it like, you know what, maybe my mom's right. No matter how much it upsets me when she talks about it, one day it's going to be time to leave the happiest place in Northeast Ohio. But right now, it's not time to go yet. So while we're still here and, us actually moving so elsewhere is like so far away. Cherish every moment here in Sandy Ridge while you can, even if it means moving elsewhere in Ridgeville or moving somewhere completely different in Ohio again, or moving to a completely different state. The only state only place other than outside of Ohio, outside of San Antonio, Texas, I'd be acceptable moving to would be Phoenix, Arizona, only because of all the friends I met there during the Arizona trip. And one more thing about that Arizona trip, that vlog will be coming out in between mine and Emily's anniversary and the Thanksgiving festivities. So be on the lookout for that. I just haven't had time to get to it. I've been putting it off for too long because a lot of shit has gone on here in the house off camera, so please forgive me. I promise you it'll be sometime in between after mine and Emily's anniversary this coming Thursday and before the Thanksgiving festivities, so please be patient with me. So thank you for your cooperation, but anyway, let's quit yapping, just shut the fuck up, stop yapping and get off this thing so we can go to bed in a timely manner so we can catch the next Spurs game against the Kings, the discombobulated Sacramento Kings in the SBC San Antonio tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern time, early the afternoon tomorrow. So catch you all in the next video, which will be tomorrow's Spurs game review going over the game against the Swipa's former team, the Sacramento Kings. See you later, everyone. And as always, go Spurs, go.
Yo, who say you gotta be a big man to compete in the NBA? Not us, Shouty. That's right. Allen and Jerome. That's us. We gonna creep on in.
Creeping like a creeper.
And drop some Stephon Marbury inner city funk. I'd love to see the face of the fool trying to D my slamming moves to the hole. Yo, David, you may be bigger than me, but you need to get yourself some Coppertone lotion. Why that, baby? Because you just got burned.
Go, Spurs, go!
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.